Back with another video for you today, and today's video is a top 20 floral fragrances video. No rose, no neroli, no orange blossom, everything else. And men can wear these fragrances. We're going to talk about these coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time landing on this channel, and if you've been watching these videos on my channel for a while and still haven't subscribed, there's a subscribe button below. Please click that and also click the bell icon so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. Yes, we are going to do floral fragrances, and men can wear floral fragrances. It's not all about rose, even though rose happens to be my favorite flower. And it's also not about orange blossom or neroli, and I do love those as well. Those are my second favorite floral notes. But I also love tuberose, gardenia, jasmine, lilac, ylang-ylang, and magnolia. So we're covering that here in this video. And men can wear these fragrances. Don't be put off by the floralness of these fragrances, because if you're smelling flowers and you like the way flowers smell, why not wear those flowers as a fragrance or perfume? So we're starting off with the 21st fragrance. I wanted to call it a top 20 because it sounds better, of course, but I have 21 here. And the 21st fragrance is a fragrance I reviewed last year, early last year for Saint Laurent, and it is one for a brand called JEROBOAM, and this is HAUTO. This right here, it's a tuberose dominant fragrance with a pineapple fruity accord or note and musks. It's very, very laundry, fresh, clean fragrance, but it's definitely tuberose, and it's also very, very unisex. It's, if not a little bit masculine leaning. I mean, it's definitely tuberose. You can pick up the floral notes here, but it's got this like cleanliness to it that makes it like more unisex, if that makes sense. So it's a great release. It's from the house of JEROBOAM, who I've spoken about a lot, and they have some great releases, including HAUTO, and they rely on their musks, which is the Origino fragrance. They have a fragrance called Origino, and that Origino note or fragrance is inside as one of the musks, which is also throughout the other fragrances. So it's musky also. So if you don't know HAUTO, do check it out. It's JEROBOAM, and that's number 21. At number 20, we're going to the house of La Parfumerie Moderne and their fragrance DESARMANT, this right here. Now this is a lilac dominant fragrance. It's a lilac. It's got a little bit of like a honey-like note to it, but it's also very sheer. It doesn't come off thick, heavy, very, very pleasant, perfect spring fragrance. And the gorgeous bottle of La Parfumerie Moderne is just really beautiful. And I happen to love lilacs as a flower. They smell gorgeous. I just love the way they smell. And it's really hard to find a really good, classic, beautiful lilac fragrance. Although there is one by Frederic Malle that I've been wanting to pick up called En Passant. But this one is a unique take on lilac. It's a little different, but really gorgeous. It just kind of smells like honeyed lilac flowers. Just really, really gorgeous. And slightly musky also. So if you like that sort of thing, you might want to check out DESARMANT by La Parfumerie Moderne. So at number 19, we're going to the house of FATH and the fragrance Curaçao Bay. And this is relying on the flower Frangipani. So it's Frangipani, aquatic notes and woody notes. So you know me that I don't like aquatic fragrances, but this one actually is pretty good. I don't pick up a lot of like too much sea or seaweed or something. But it's a little bit salty, but it's definitely Frangipani. And you've got that. I originally thought this was like a tuberose, but I did my research and I found out that it is a Frangipani dominant fragrance. And I was kind of like surprised because I'm really all over this fragrance now, and I really do enjoy it, especially the fact that it's Frangipani with that aquatic note. So if you don't know Curaçao Bay, do check it out. It's from FATH, and that's at number 19. So at number 18, we're going to the house of Thierry de GUNZBERG, and this is PARTI PRIS, this one right here, and this is a totally white flower fragrance. But it's got this warm sweetness to it. There's tobacco, there's some kind of a balsam in there, or balm. I think it's called Paibu balm. I think that's what it is. But it's got spicy notes. It's got vetiver, but it's all about tuberose and Ylang-Ylang. It's a house that's hardly talked about in fragrance community, but it's Thierry de GUNZBERG. It's a unique, I think it's a makeup brand, and it is actually a makeup brand. Actually, I've been to their shop in Paris, and it's beautiful fragrance. If you like white flowers, if you like Ylang-Ylang, a little ambery. It's almost kind of has this oriental touch to it. So it's the white flowers of tuberose and Ylang-Ylang with like lots of ambery, tobacco-y, kind of vanilla kind of notes. So it's a beautiful fragrance, a little intense, it's a little overwhelming, a little overpowering. So if you like a strong floral, definitely one to try out. A honey, it's like very warm also. So PARTI PRIS by Thierry de GUNZBERG is at number 18. So at number 17, we're going to the house of Clive Christian, and this is Clive Christian C for women. Again, this is a beautiful, beautiful tuberose, but spicy, whereas it has hints of the tuberose in here in HAUTO by JEROBOAM. The spiciness and the warmth in here makes it a little more interesting, whereas this one is very cool and clean. This one has a little bit of roughness to it because it's got the warmth and everything. A really beautiful tuberose. Now, I think most of the time, I think here we're going to have a lot more tuberose fragrances, but we'll have some unique flowers pop up here and there. But this is tuberose, and it's probably one of my favorite Clive Christians, and that's why I have a bottle of it. So it's Clive Christian C. It's a tuberose dominant fragrance. It says C for women, but don't be turned off by the woman part, because I find fragrances to be unisex, even though if they're targeted to women. If you like a fragrance, just wear it, because I mean, it's just, that's how I feel about fragrances. Because when I smell a flower, I don't say that's a flower, it's for women. Or when I smell something that's not a flower, maybe like an herb, it's more masculine, I wouldn't say that's for men. So I also don't say the same thing about fragrances. So Clive Christian C for women is at number 17. Now this next one is from the house of Van Cleef & Arpels, a jewelry maker who also has fragrances, and this is part of their more luxury collection. And this is California Reverie, and I have little bits of it left here. It's in this bottle. Now this is a gorgeous, gorgeous jasmine with citruses. It smells like California, and I absolutely love the name California Reverie. And the fragrance is just so refreshing. It's just lots of jasmine and lots of citruses for a very, very beautiful concoction. This is one of the underrated ones, and I've used a lot of it. Actually, I bought a used bottle from someone. I rarely buy used bottles, and it was like this much left. And I use a lot of it this summer because it smells so good and refreshing. An underrated brand, well actually, maybe yeah, the whole brand is underrated, except for Midnight in Paris probably. But this collection is just really great, the more private or exclusive collection of fragrances from Van Cleef & Arpels, and this is one of their best. California Reverie is at number 16. So next up is Quelques Fleurs Jardin Secret by HOUBIGANT at number 15, and that's this one right here. Now this one is all about Magnolia, Narcissus, flowers. It's an update to their original Quelques Fleurs fragrance. It's a classic, but this one's targeting younger noses, just a younger generation. So they've updated it, and they've got some beautiful, you know, jasmine and just all kinds of beautiful floral notes. But it comes off very, very green. Like it's a very green floral fragrance. So it comes off very fresh. And to me, it also hints at a little bit of like the DNA of Byredo for some odd reason, and reminds me of a fragrance they had called Green. I don't know if you like that fragrance from Byredo, and if you've been looking for a replacement for it, this one kind of comes close to it. It also kind of hints at a little bit of like just the DNA of Byredo, as I said. But it's a very, very refreshing, young edition of the Quelques Fleurs classic fragrance from HOUBIGANT, and this is Quelques Fleurs Jardin Secret, and this is at number 14. We've got a fragrance from the house of Louis Vuitton, and this is Turbulence right here, and this is all about jasmine and tuberose. Now this is such a, actually it's to me more, sometimes I think it's more true tuberose and sometimes I think it's more true jasmine. Today it's actually more tuberose, and it just smells like you're smelling the tuberose off the stems, just gorgeous. And there's a little bit of a leather touch to it, and I think that leather touch comes from the Louis Vuitton leatherware and leather goods, and just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It's one of the, well, I guess they have 7 fragrances currently. They're all targeted to women, but again, there's unisex aspects to them, and I think the leather in here in Turbulence kind of tones down the floral notes of jasmine and tuberose. But you know, there's nothing wrong with wearing jasmine or tuberose fragrances, and this one dries down pretty masculine to me. So it's very, very refreshing, and it's a very, very floral fragrance, and absolutely love this one. So Turbulence by Louis Vuitton. And at number 13, we're going back to the house of Van Cleef & Arpels, and this time it's Gardenia Petal, this one right here. Man, this one's so, so beautiful. I just love both of these fragrances from Van Cleef & Arpels. It's California Reverie and Gardenia Petal, or Petal. And gardenias had a big meaning in my family. Both my mom and dad loved gardenias, and they loved planting and growing gardenias, and also picking them and putting them in, you know, vases, and just made the whole house smell like beautiful. And to me, this Gardenia Petal smells like gardenias plucked fresh and popped into the vase. Just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. It's also very fresh, and it's also, I think it's just like the citruses or whatever they have in here has toned down the ultra sharp whiteness of the gardenia, and it just makes it a lot more accessible and a lot more unisex to me. So if you want to play around with some white flowers, but you don't want to like take them all in at once, this one's a good one to start with. Just a gorgeous scent. Gardenia Petal by Van Cleef & Arpels. Lovely, lovely fragrance, and it's perfect for hotter days, I think. And right now we're having like a heat wave here in San Francisco, so this is perfection actually. So that's from Van Cleef & Arpels, and that's number 13. At number 12, we're going to the house of Tower Perfumes, and it's Tower Perfumes Sotto la Luna Tuberose. Now this one is a very, very masculine tuberose to me. If you're turned off with wearing tuberose fragrances, this is one to start off with. It's tuberose with cloves, cinnamon, and woodsy notes, and it has the Tower Out DNA, and you pick it up, but it's lots of tuberose, lots of cloves, lots of cinnamon, so it's a spicy kind of a white flower fragrance, an oriental style of white floral fragrance. So gorgeous stuff. Absolutely love this one. This one, next to the Gardenia one it has Sotto la Luna Gardenia and also Sotto la Luna Tuberose. I find the tuberose to be a lot more beautiful, a lot more interesting than the Gardenia. It's just my opinion, and I love it. I think it's because of the cloves and cinnamon mixed with the tuberose, which makes it ultra masculine. So check it out, Sotto la Luna Tuberose from Tower Perfumes. At number 11, we're going to the house of Tom Ford Private Blend. I don't have a full bottle of this one, but you know, I do have a, when you buy the big decanter flacons, you get a atomizer filled in, and I got it filled with Shanghai Lily. Another reason why I like Shanghai Lily, it's lots of white flowers, but unfortunately Fragrantica doesn't say what kind of white flowers it is, but if it's called Shanghai Lily, so it must be lilies in there as well. But what I like about this one is the cinnamony or clovey kind of aspect to it. So, but it's just beautiful. Just such a great scent. I really enjoy this one because it's warm. It's white flowers, but it's warmth. There's this warmth to it, glazed with like syrup or something, just beautiful. Now, Shanghai Lily, I guess maybe perhaps it's inspired by Shanghai and the lilies there. I'm assuming that's what the inspiration was, but I can see that with the smell. Just a gorgeous scent. So if you don't know Shanghai Lily, I think it's one of the better Tom Ford Private Blend Collection fragrances, next to some of the more bigger ones like Tobacco Vanille and Tuscan Leather and Noir de Noir. So do try it. Shanghai Lily is amazing. And now for the top 10, we're going to the house of M. Micallef, and this is their fragrance called Ylang-Ylang. This one right here. And as you can see, this has this like weird shimmery effect to it, and I find it kind of beautiful. But this is an oriental floral basically. So it's a vanilla, lots of vanilla with Ylang-Ylang. Really, really beautiful, really like potent, extra potent fragrance. So if you like your white flower of Ylang-Ylang and you like a oriental vanilla kind of a fragrance, this is the one you've got to try. It's just a gorgeous scent and long lasting, like extra long lasting, potent fragrance. And the bottle is gorgeous. There's some gorgeousness to it. It actually kind of leaking, I think, but maybe my bottle is a little cracked. I hope not. But it's a beautiful scent. Perfect for like a person that likes the vanilla with their white flowers. So check it out, M. Michelhoff Ylang-Ylang. So at number 9, we're going to the House of Tower Perfumes again, and this is Noontide Petals. And what I like about this one is the fact that you've got the Tower DNA in there, sort of like the one in Sotto la Luna Tuberose that we just spoke about, but this one also has aldehydes and citrus notes. I think it's bergamot. Of course, it's got to be bergamot, and Ylang-Ylang and iris, and some jasmine, and of course some rose. But it's mostly about Ylang-Ylang, I think. Just a beautiful scent. I absolutely love this one, and I really love wearing it. And it's just a little better than to me than the Tuberose one. Like, I find the Tuberose to be more of a warmer scent for like the holidays almost, but the cloves and the cinnamon. But this one actually kind of smells like something you could wear in the spring, summer, and fall. Just a gorgeous scent. It's Tower Odd in there, but just the aldehydes and the citruses and Ylang just are like a match made in heaven. So do check out Noontide Petals if you don't know it. You're gonna love it. It's just great. At number 8, we're going to another lilac fragrance again, and this one is from the house of Amouage, and this is Lilac Love. So what I like about this one is that it's an intense fragrance. It's pretty strong. Actually, it's really strong for a floral fragrance. It's because it's Amouage, first of all, and it's also chocolate laced lilac. So has this gourmand aspect to it. Lilac, as I said, is one of my favorite flowers. I just love the way they smell. And here you've got that gourmand touch to it. Like, it's almost like a, not full-on gourmand, it's more like a dusting of cacao almost. Like, you get like whiffs of like when you open up a can of like, powdered cocoa, but it's with the lilac mixed in. So it's just a great combo. You wouldn't think of it like the two together. And kind of like also like Intense Cafe with the coffee and the rose, like an odd combo, but it really works. Here, it really works with the cacao and the lilac. Just gorgeous stuff. And if you like longevity, fragrances made with major longevity, this one's a good one because it lasts on me all day and into the night. So Lilac Love by Amouage, awesome, and it's at number 8. At number 7, we're going to a fragrance that I reviewed, and actually I reviewed Lilac Love as well, but this one I reviewed last year, and this is a fragrance from the House of Memo Paris, and this is Marfa, named after the city of Marfa in Texas, which is sort of like a little art colony, art city, and they have a little beautiful artistic kind of a label. This is all about tuberose, a very dry, dusty, spicy, woody tuberose. It's all about tuberose and lots of sandalwood. So it's very masculine. I mean, I can totally see men wearing this. I mean, I can totally see anybody, all men and women can wear the fragrances that I'm mentioning here, but this one comes off ultra masculine for a tuberose. So if you're into idea of starting to explore tuberose fragrances, this is one that you should start off with. And if you're a man and you're thinking, God, I don't know, can I do this or can I pull it off? This is the one you could do it with. So it's Memo Paris, Marfa, and that's at number 7. This next one is a discontinued fragrance, and it's absolutely nothing of the flowers I mentioned, or although I think I mentioned it, but it was not a major player in a previous fragrance. This is discontinued, unfortunately, as I said, and it's also created by one of my favorite perfumers, Bertrand Duchaffu. This is called Ostara by PENHALIGON'S, and beautiful fragrance. Ostara is just the gorgeous flower. Narcissus is the flower here. It's a Narcissus dominant fragrance, and here it is in the beautiful golden color. It's spicy, just a very gorgeous scent. Just comes off very unique, like you have not smelled anything like it before in any fragrances, and that's what makes this fragrance really unique. It's Narcissus, as I said, and it's basically just inspired by the Narcissus flower, as you can see on here. And if you like the idea of it, you should definitely check it out, because I think there are still discounted bottles out there, but once it's gone, it's gone. This fragrance will be shelved forever. But always the good ones get to go first, because they just don't click with people, I guess. I don't know what it is, but this time I'm going to use the word masterpiece. I think this is a masterpiece of a fragrance. The reason it's also not the very beginning of the list at the #1, because it's discontinued. It's a bummer it's discontinued, but you can still find it. So do check it out. Ostara, amazing, amazing floral fragrance. And then one for men to be able to wear also, because it's nothing like the tuberoses and the jasmines and the gardenias that we've been talking about. Ostara, there you go. So another Louis Vuitton fragrance coming up, and this time it's Apogee, this one right here. Now Apogee is all about Lily of the Valley, Magnolia, and it's very, very fresh and watery. Like you've got this like water running through the smell as you're smelling it. So it's all those the white flowers, as I mentioned, with a little with water. So it's a very, very dewy, watery, and it's very refreshing for summertime or any other hot times that that you want to pull off something fresh. There's a little bit of the Louis Vuitton DNA in here. You can smell it in all the fragrances, and I find this to be kind of almost like the base of the fragrances here. This might be the lightest, definitely the freshest of all of the Louis Vuitton fragrances that are currently available, but such a great release. Absolutely love wearing it. It does have a little bit of a woody base, which gives it a little more of a oomph to it, a little heft to it, and it does last. I get great longevity with this one for a freshie. So Apogee is #5. At #4, we're going to the house of Mugler. Wow, Mugler, this is their L'Exceptions collection, and we're going with Wonder Bouquet. Boy, another yummy fragrance. It's floral notes of jasmine and tuberose, but you got like bready, nutty notes in it, and it's like, whoa, did I really smell that combo? Like, kind of like the contrast that I was just mentioning with Lilac Love here with the cacao and the lilac. And here we got those white flowers with like gourmand notes. Like, what? They really, really work. They work so well. This is probably my favorite of the 4 of these fragrances from the L'Exceptions collection I have. But gorgeous, gorgeous. Like it develops into this unique combo of like notes. Like it starts off floral, but then it becomes more bready, more nutty, like just a yummy. Like it's such a yummy fragrance for a white flower, and you've come to expect from Mugler to release yummy fragrances, so this is one of them. Wonder Bouquet from Mugler, #4. At #3, we're going to the house of Le Labo, and this is Ylang 49. We got Ylang-Ylang again with oak moss. And now this one actually is a beast of a fragrance, long lasting, but really, really vintage inspired to me. I think it's the patchouli and the oak moss. It kind of smells very like classic, like mature. So this probably might be the most mature out of all of these fragrances, and probably the most oldest or classic smelling. Really, really love wearing this one. This is probably my fourth favorite from the house of Le Labo in their regular collection, but gorgeous. So Ylang 49, #3 from Le Labo. At #2, we've got one of my happiest fragrances in my collection ever, and we're going with Vanilla Vermeer and Bombay Bling. This is a fruity floral, so you've got lots of white flowers and some fruity notes, and it's very festive, it's very lively. I can see Bombay Bling, lots of like excitement, but it's also vacation in a bottle. Like it just transports me to a vacation setting. Island setting, sipping on cocktails, laying at the beach or maybe the pool or something, whatever. And very, very happy fragrance. Vanilla Vermeer doesn't get talked much about, but you should definitely check it out. And if you like happy fragrances, fruity floral fragrances, this is the one. Great, great performance also. Closer to the skin, but really, really good. Bombay Bling by Vanilla Vermeer, #2. And at #1, can you guess what #1 is? I haven't spoken about this one in my collection at all yet, but it's the first time I'm introing it in my collection, and we'll hopefully do a full review. This is probably one of the most popular tuberose fragrances out there. It's from a house called Frederic Malle, and this is Carnal Flower. This has to be #1 because this is the ultimate tuberose fragrance. Just smells so good, like so good. Tuberose is, who can't like tuberose? I mean, it's one of the most gorgeous, beautiful flowers. It's just gorgeous. But lately, when I buy them, they don't smell like anything. I don't know why, but even roses, I can't smell anything. But they look beautiful. It's just, I don't know what's going on with flowers, but I'm all about smelling flowers, but when I smell them, they don't smell like it. But this is basically capturing the smell of the true tuberose in the bottle here. And it's a very popular fragrance. I could say it's also a masterpiece because everybody raves about this one, and both men and women love to wear it. It's not totally femme, even though none of these I find femme. I guess some can be more femme than others, but they're very unisex to wear, even though some can be targeted to women. But this one I find like it's one of the most unisex tuberose fragrances. And it's from a great house, and it's created by Dominique Ropion. I mean, come on. Dominique Ropion is probably one of the most well-known perfumers, next to Bertrand Duchaffour, which he did Ostara. But man, gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. If you don't know Carnal Flower, you are missing out. You got to try it out. If you're a man and you want to take a crack at tuberose, white flowers, this is one to try also next to Marfa. So there you have it, my top 20 floral fragrances. So what are your thoughts, guys? Do you like floral fragrances? Do you wear any of these fragrances? Are you curious to try floral fragrances? Are you turned off by the idea of wearing floral fragrances? As I said at the beginning of the video, I don't see a gender on any fragrances. If you like the way it smells, wear it. Don't say, okay, that one's for the ladies, I'm not gonna wear it. Wear it. If you like the way it smells, wear it, because you're not going to say the same thing about a flower. If you're smelling a flower, it smells great to you. You're not going to say, oh, babe, I better not smell that flower because it's for women. There's no such thing. There's no gender in flowers. And same as the fragrances, there's no gender. There used to be no gender with fragrances before the turn of the century, the 20th, when we got into the 20th century. But prior to that, everybody wore whatever was available because they weren't saying, okay, this is for men and this is for ladies. It's what they had available. If they had only rose available, they would wear rose. If they only had tuberose available, they would wear tuberose. So let me know your thoughts on the whole idea of wearing floral fragrances and fragrances that are targeted to women. Would you do it or would you not do it? Please do that. Let's start a conversation. Also, please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.